Hi guys, so I'm here today not with a haul but to tell you a story and show you one of my most prized possessions. I get asked all the time, do you have a lot of money? Are you rich? How on earth do you pay for all those things? And I know that to a lot of people I probably would seem rich, or rich is not the word, I don't think we're rich, but comfortably off. But that's not the way my life has always been. My parents, very working class. I grew up in a council house, council estate. I married very young, had kids very young, and money was something we did not have. We made some really bad decisions, but bearing in mind how young we were, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't expect my kids to make the kind of decisions that we were making. So anyway, I never had much of anything. When I was about 25, 26, I got a job in Sainsbury's as on the checkouts. My mum was already working there, and I thought it would fit in well around hubby's work, which it did. Because up to that point, I mean, I was feeding the family of 4 on £35 a week. I always remember it was £35 because basically it was £5 a day. And that had to cover, you know, everything, because we were not in a good way financially. Anyway, the girls used to do trips, and one of the trips that they did was at Christmas. That's what brought it to mind, was at Christmas they did a trip on a coach down to London to see the lights and go to the fancy shops like Harrods and things like that, and really see how the other half lived, you know, and sort of drench yourself in Christmasness. Well, you know, I was able to save to go on it because we were able to put money away every week or so, and we used to be paid in cash. So you'd get your, you know, you'd get your pay packet and you'd hand a £5 over or whatever. I can't even remember what it was, but you know, we were there and we were in a shop. I know it will have been either Harrods or Selfridges. I couldn't even tell you because I walked around the whole day like a country mouse, sort of with my mouth open going, oh. I remember seeing a really pretty little things and thinking, oh, that would be cute for somebody, and then seeing the price on them and just being like, what world do I live in? Anyway, I walked into, as I say, within one of these big stores, there was something, they called it something like the Hall of Bags or something. Bag heaven, I couldn't even tell you. And it had all the big designers. I'd never had so much as well, I'm trying to think, a Radley bag. You know, my bags were Primark, you know, and in the window of one of them was something that caught my eye. And I thought, how posh, how amazing, how wonderful to have something like that. I didn't make a fool of myself by going in and asking the price. There's never any prices in the windows. I just noticed it and just thought, wow, that's a different kind of living. Many years go by. I'm with my second husband. My second husband is a very generous man. Works very hard, but he's a very generous man. I have my own share of work in the sense that between us we have 5 kids, and you know, I'm the homemaker, I'm the one that holds everything together so that he can do what he does in his life. And he started taking me to London and taking me to these places and saying, oh, let's buy you a so-and-so. And he discovered very quickly that it was no good, because we'd go into these shops and I'd be like, oh, would you look at that bag over there? Would you look at that bag over there? And he would say, well, she'd like to see whatever it was. And the price would come and I would be like, and I never actually said, I don't think I ever said to one of the shop assistants, you must be joking, or I'm not paying that, or anything. I don't think I ever did anything like that. But suffice it to say, sorry, Bert is trying to get on my lap. Suffice it to say, I never came out with a bag. And he thought I was saying that I didn't like them, but it was just, you know, I'm a working class girl and I found it really difficult. And then one day we went to a Selfridges and they had a half price sale on. And because it was half price, there was a Prada bag. Always remember it, still have it. It is so beat up, it's incredible. but it was half price. And I was somehow able to convince myself that because it was half price, I was not being stupid. So anyway, what happened was Nick started buying things for me. And that has been very, very successful on occasions. I've been blown away by some of the things he's bought me. And on other occasions, it's been a disaster. But anyway, I told him about this experience and seeing this thing. On the way down to London, the very first time we went down to wander around the shops. Now, we hadn't gone with him saying, we're going to go and buy you something. We were just going to London. We were going to stay the night and have a wander. But I was telling him about the last time I'd been to London and the coach and the thing. Very long-winded. I'm going to get to it in a minute if Bert ever lets me concentrate. So, the clue is in the box. It is Louis Vuitton. It's the brown box. They're orange now, but it was brown at the time. Can you see the dust on the top of this? I'm such a good housewife, not. It's been on top of wardrobe. It lives in the box. And it's still, if I open it up, it is still, look, it's even still got the letter. Now, it's not to say I haven't used it, because I have. But I've only used it maybe 3 or 4 times since I had it. And I've had it 15 years. But I'm going to show it to you. So I'm going to angle the camera and hopefully you'll be able to see. You'll hear me, but you won't be able to see me. Okay. I'm supposed to be, by the way, I'm supposed to be decorating the Christmas tree behind me. And I just, honestly, I'll give you a quick look at the conservatory when I finish. It's hell on wheels here at the minute. Anyway, so there's the letter that came with it. And then lift. And it's heavy, guys, in its dust bag. Can you see what it is yet? Do you know what it is yet? It is a vanity box, vanity case, vanity box. This was what I had seen in the window of Louis Vuitton. Not necessarily this one, because of course it was years later that I got with Nick. So they've probably changed designs. He even had my name, whoops, don't know if you can see, it says fawn on it. It weighs an absolute ton. It's got little bits of glitter on it. The last time I used it, we went away for New Year's. And you open it up and this is what it looks like inside. It's this beautiful creamy leather. It has its stamp that shows its proof, shows that it's genuine. This came with it. Actually, in the bottom is something that he bought that was an extra, so I will show you that as well. But can you see, so it's got compartments for your makeups and perfumes that you want to arrange. Then you've got the base bit. Then you have this box, which has a little handle that sits on here. Oops, if I can get it back in. And let me open, oh, it's upside down. Oh, you can tell I do this for a living, can't you guys? And then you open up and it has a beautiful mirror. And it's just another box, maybe for your jewellery or whatever, to go into the vanity case. So, there it is. Why a vanity case? I can hear you saying, why a vanity case? It just seemed like the most extravagant, you know, the lady that uses one of these, the lady that has this type of thing, she's terribly posh, and you know, she lives the sort of life that I could only imagine, and still can only imagine. I have to say, I am still not somebody who could use something like this willy-nilly. But yeah, that's the box. Isn't it beautiful? It weighs a ton, and when you put stuff in it, because as I say, I have used it, got little bits of glitter on it. I have used it. When you fill that up with your makeup and your jewellery and things like that, honestly, you need a very strong man to carry your things for you. But yeah, that was it. And he also got, of course, going in there, the saleswoman was determined to sort of add some extras. She could see that this was a man that was going to spend some money. So she talked him into buying the travel jewellery case as well. It has a sweet, sweet little lock and keys. And you unzip it. And inside you have a thing for your rings, if you've got oodles of rings. This is for earrings. Can you see the little holes to put your stud earrings into it? Then it has this pull-out 3-pocket, is it 3? Yes, 3-pocket folding bag. And then, of course, you've got the main body of it, and it's all done in a beautiful sort of suede. It still smells lovely. And you can tell this one I actually haven't used. I still have things like the barcodes. I never used this. I'm not a woman who, I do have a lot of jewellery because again, Nick has bought me a lot of jewellery, but I'm not a woman that changes her jewellery often. So, I mean, you can see some of the mess. Look, 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 look. So I thought, as I say, that I would show it to you. I mean, I don't know what this cost. I would imagine it cost a lot of money. I have never been so crass as to look it up. My husband was giving me my dreams, I suppose, when he did this. And I will never forget the moment of opening it. I will never forget him giving me the box. It was a Christmas. I will never forget pulling this out and seeing it in all of its glory, and to see that my name was on it, you know, me, Fawn, this is mine. I've never really gotten over it. It has become almost a talisman, as if nothing awful financially now can happen to us as long as I have this. I mean, with my first husband in particular, you know, we lurched from disaster to disaster. If we could pick the wrong moment to buy something or do something, we would do it, you know. Whenever we committed ourselves, like if we committed ourselves to a weekend at Butlins with the children, the washing machine would break down just before we went. You know, we were those kids, and we were young. And it never got any better. We'd got ourselves into such a state that we worked and we worked and we worked, but it never got any better. And I must say, my ex wasn't quite as committed as me to trying to, you know, clear the debts and things, I have to say. Bit of a spendthrift. If it had an engine, he wanted to buy it. So this was Nick saying that I was more important to him than all those things, but also that those worries that I'd had all those years, you know, all those worries I'd had about, could I make the bills? Could I, what if the kids needed shoes this week and, you know, and I haven't got much there? What if, I didn't have to worry about those things anymore. Now I still do, not kids' shoes. I still worry because I think it's ingrained in me to want to know, where did the money come from for that? What if we do that? Can we afford it? What will it do to our savings? You know, but I have savings now. I'm with a man who literally sell a kidney. You know, he'd sell a kidney. Now, he happens to have been, lucky's not the right word. He works hard, my fella, my husband, but many men work hard. Lots of men work really, really hard for the women and the kids and stuff in their lives, for their loved ones. But depending on what occupation you're in, depends on how big the financial reward is. So you can be with a guy who's a nurse and he is saving lives. He's the most wonderful guy in the world, but his pay is never going to reflect that. Now, it just so happens that my Nick has done various things in his life, and you know, what he does now is well rewarded. We're not millionaires, please don't think that. I still, you know, I still love my bargains, and we are still careful about money and all of that. but I never have to be frightened, which I was for a lot of my first marriage. You know, there were a good 10 years where, you know, I literally was always robbing Peter to pay Paul and just afraid. And this, beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful. It actually needs polishing. I've discovered the brass bits on it need a bit of a polish and so on. This, I could sell it and get enough money to pay, say, a month's rent. It's security in a box that was unique to me, and my beautiful Nick was the one who gave it to me. So I thought I'd share that with you. It's kind of a Christmas story. Because there was, you know, there was the Christmas of the young woman. I mean, I was what, 25, 26, I had 2 kids, who was on a coach party with a load of girls from Sainsbury's, having a whale of a time, I have to tell you, who walked around London and really couldn't afford anything, and just looked with big eyes at all these designer things. I mean, I didn't even go into the shops that were selling Louis Vuitton. I wouldn't have gone in. Not in a million years would I have gone in there. I now go in there and I will look. I still won't pay their prices, but Nick does sometimes. He, you know, he's more, he's very generous, whereas I'm very cautious. I'm very, what? But the difference between that girl and me now, it's night and day. I lived a life of worry, and it was all worry about money because I had children and I wanted to give them the best and I couldn't give them the best. And I mean, this wasn't even about the kids. This was about being a 25, 26-year-old woman with 2 kids and a home who did not have a pot to proverbially to piss in, basically, guys. And if someone had given me, on that day in London, if somebody had given me, say, £100, I wouldn't have bought a thing for myself anyway. It would have been things for the kids that I felt they needed, and I just tried to keep a bit back. But the girl who looked in the window and saw this box, or a box very similar to it, yeah, that was the me without kids. That was the me whose life could have taken a very different path. That was the me who was still inside but had been buried under being wife and mum and all of those things. It was a pure moment of looking in a window and just thinking, oh, if only my life was different, and how amazing must be the lives of women who can afford things like this. It was a moment of just looking in a mirror darkly, really. And I didn't go home and think, poor me. I went home and hugged my kids and gave them the little bits. I mean, I bought them a Harrods bear, you know. I didn't go home and feel sorry for myself or miserable about life. But I did remember that moment, and that was what I mentioned, as I say, in the car on the way down to London with my Nick, because I was laughing about how different my life was becoming. And I thought I might change. I thought I might one day be one of these ladies that she's into places and goes, oh, I'll have that and I'll have that. I remember listening to 2 ladies in a shop one time talking about the colour of the season, and they were so disappointed that orange had been the colour last year, and you know, and they'd bought the latest designer bag in orange, but really you couldn't be seen with it now. And thinking, oh my God, how shallow. I'm so glad I'm not going there, you know. But it was joy, it was security, it was love. And I mean, my God, look at it. Even if we take away the cost, we take away the funny story, we take away the detailing on this, the craftsmanship of this is truly phenomenal. The way it's studied, I know it has this logo fabric that they're sort of famous for, but it just is exquisite in every way. And So yeah, I thought I'd tell you that story, and now it's going back in its bag. And people are going to say, how pointless to have that and keep it in a bag. Why don't you use it? It is very heavy. It's the first thing I'd say. I would be so distraught if anything happened to it, is the other thing. It just, yeah, I know it's there. Let's put it that way. I know it's there. I know I love it. And it will just stay with me forever, probably. I don't know which of my daughters is going to lay claim to it. Which one is going to go, I want that one. Because I do have other bags, and I will do other bags at other times for people. But I just, yeah, I was putting the Christmas tree up. I'm supposed to be doing so much today, ladies. I really am. It's a Monday. I'm supposed to be charging around doing 300 million things. And you know what? I have got about as much get up and go as, yeah, no, I just don't have any. I managed to shower and pull myself together. My hair's looking a bit grim. I showered and I dried it and I did it all beautifully, and then I went in and was looking after the kids, and Levi was doing my hair. So I was in there having it scrunched and clipped, and of course it had not long dried. So it's a bit, yeah, it's not at its best right now. I'm waiting to go, I think it's Thursday, to have it coloured and trimmed. So yeah, I should be getting on with a few things, and I'm really not. But I was going to show you the desolation that is this conservatory before. This is a before, so here we go. I'm going to stand. I'm standing in the sort of archway into the conservatory. So as you can see, the tree is now up. Treated myself this year and bought a new pre-lit Christmas tree from Balsam Hill. Amazing. Then we have this table that I've got to figure out what's going on it, what's moving, what's going away for a while. Then I always switch the sofas around, So it's now here. And just would you look at what is abandoned on top of it. There's the Louis Vuitton. There's another little table here that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. There's a box. This box has all the bits in that I paint, and so it's got drawer knobs and things like that. So that's got to go away. Then there's this table that I'm probably going to get rid of, guys. I bought it for in here, never realising just how hot this place was going to be, and that wood would split and warp. So it's pretty badly damaged on the top, and I've sort of hung on to it thinking, oh, I could do something with it, but I can't. Then we have the actual dining table, which, look, is just covered in bags of Christmas decorations and things that I need to sort out. And in the back there are some presents. There. Because it's my son-in-law's birthday on the 6th of December. Look, the broom is just hanging about, just here. I've moved all my plants over to one side while I'm sorting things out. This unit, which I think I showed you last year, is supposed to be going in my youngest daughter's house when they finish the work that they're doing. And here we are, second Christmas with it still just clogging up the works in my conservatory. Who else finds themselves in that position? And then I'll move over so you can see that the kitchen, the kitchen looks really dark. Kitchen's messy. And then like all the tables have got bits, look. My granddaughter left one slipper behind. Please tell me why. The dog treats are out. So if anyone else is facing a room or a space that looks like this because of the run up to Christmas, you have my heartfelt sympathies, because I am suffering from it too. So I'd like to say that I'm now going to get this room straight, but I don't think I will today. I think I'll achieve quite a bit. Wouldn't be hard, would it really? But I don't think it'll be finished, but I will be showing you my nod to Christmas vlogmases and all of that business. I do have a great advent calendar, and I will be coming on every day to show you my advent and to just tell you a little bit about what I'm doing that day. And some days it will literally be like a 2-3 minute, hello, look, I got this in my advent. Other days there will be more to say. But yeah, that's me. That's my Louis Vuitton vanity case, and my story about, yeah, about Christmas, really, about how things change, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're all well. I hope you're coping better than I am. And I hope your homes are looking fabulous, and I'll see you really, really soon. Bye guys.